শনিবারে আর কি, শনিবার রাতে। দুই সপ্তাহ থাকবে, মানুষ তো ওখানে যেতে পারো।
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Samyukta Mataji, Raja Prabhu, Sandhya Mataji, Akinchan Priya Prabhu, Gaurav Prabhu, Deepa Mataji, Kalitram Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for joining today. Just give me a couple of minutes. Today we will start reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. We have done CC Madhya overview also. So let us continue from Lilamrita. So just give me 2 minutes. Yeah, let us begin with Mangalacharna prayers. Thank you so much for waiting. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya. Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukha Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yakripātamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Apavitra Pavitro Va Sarvavastam Ratopi Va Yasmare Pundarikaksham Sadhyabhyantaram Suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. We share here. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita ki Jai. Before that, let me sing a couple of minutes to glorify Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. One Mataji, one Prabhuji. Can you please do it? Same. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please do that a couple of times. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'll do.
Yeah.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Srila Prabhupada.
Nice. Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Yeah. Prabhuji, please sing once. We are reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. It's very kind of heart-wrenching story of Srila Prabhupada. It's pure devotee's life. We have to remember, without him, these scriptures, you won't be able to understand actually, He put a lot of effort, his blood, his sweat, his time giving for us to save us, Please do this. Prabhu, anybody?
Shall I go ahead, Prabhu?
Yeah, please do that.
Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yes, let us start. So first let us see, there are total 61, 64 chapters. Let us read only chapters for some time, then we can choose prepare onwards, let us read. So now all the devotees, let us participate. Now volume 1, this is the volume 1 till 10. 10. Please read Divamatari. What exactly is there in this?
Yes, Prabhuji. Volume 1, a biography of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, second and enlarged edition Satswarup Das Goswami.
Satswarup Das Goswami is a very prominent disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He is currently living in New York City. Away from it, not completely, he's completely, 80 plus 80, 81 plus years old now. So he's not much into preaching. He's personally practicing bhakti and serving devotees in different ways. Satsarug Das Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. They will read Mataji till whatever select till 10 chapters. What exactly the preface? Okay.
Yeah. Preface, acknowledgement, introduction, invocation, chapter 1, childhood, chapter 2, college, marriage and Gandhi's movement, chapter 3, a very nice saintly person, chapter 4, how shall I serve you, chapter 5, the war, chapter 6, an unknown friend, chapter 7, Jhansi, the League of Devotees, chapter 8, New Delhi, crying alone in wilderness, chapter 9, a resident of Vrindavana, chapter 10, this momentous hour of need, chapter
Thank you, Mataji.
11, okay.
Yeah. Rather, Samyukta Mataji, please read after 5.
Yes, Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chapter 11, The Dream Come True. Chapter 12, The Journey to America. Chapter 13, Butler, Pennsylvania, the first testing ground. Chapter 14, Struggling Alone. Chapter 15, It will not be possible to assist you.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Chapter 16, Free to Preach. Chapter 17, On the Poverty. Chapter 18, Breaking Ground. Chapter 19, Planting the Seed. Chapter 20, Stay High Forever. Chapter 21, Beyond the Lower East Side. Chapter 22, Swami invites the hippies.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, done with pen.
Uh,
Chapter 23, The Prize Affair. Chapter 24, New Jagannath Puri. Chapter 25, Our Master has not finished his work. Chapter 26, Swamiji's departure. Chapter 27, India Revisited, Part 1. Chapter 28, India Revisited, Part 2. Chapter 29, Unlimited Opportunity, Limited Time. Hari.
Thank you, Mataji. Lavanya, can you read?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Chapter 30, London, a dream fulfilled. Chapter 31, a threat against ISKCON. Chapter 32, India dancing white elephants. Chapter 33, a lot of ground to be covered. Chapter 34, Jet Age, Parivrakacharya. Chapter 35, this remote corner of the world. Chapter 36, in every town and village. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah. Prabhu, Raju Prabhu, can you read this? You.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, forward to the first printing of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 1, Chapters 1 to 11. Forward to the first printing of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 2, Chapters 2 to 21. Sorry. Chapters 12 to 21. Forward to the first printing of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 3, Chapters 22 to 28. Forward to the first printing of Srila Lilamrita, Volume 4, Chapters 29 to 36. Praise to the lotus feet of Krishna. Marken Bhagavata Dharma.
So in this online version, everything is, they put it in one volume here. So the earlier first printing, they put different books. Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita right now also 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6 books. So here in online, they put everything in the one volume and second volume, like the 36 chapters, and you can read actually. So second volume, let us go through. Volume 2, Prabhuji, Hakinchan Priya Prabhu, can you read? Where is there? Gaurav Prabhu is on hearing mode. So Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Volume 2, a biography of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, second and enlarged edition, Sat Swarupa Dasa Goswami. Preface. Yeah. Acknowledgements. Introduction. Chapter 36 and 37. Prabhuji, there is a difference between preface and foreword. We should all actually know what is preface and what is foreword. Forward means brief synopsis about the book who read it. Okay, they say their reviews. That's what forward means. And there are also great personalities other than the author. Preface means introduction to the book, why it has come, why it has been in the writing. Okay. Yeah.
Forward means somebody, I mean, whoever gone through this book and they have given some acknowledgements
reviews
and encouragements.
Yeah. How it is, yeah.
Intro
Preface means why this book has come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Preface, acknowledgements, introduction. Chapter 37. The land is yours. Chapter 38. No one listens to a poor man. Chapter 39. I will build a wonderful temple for you. Chapter 40. Around the world, but absorbed in Bombay. Chapter 41. The battle for Bombay. Chapter 42. Developing Mayapur. Chapter 43. Beginning the temple of Krishna Balaram. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Akinchan Priya Prabhu, are you there? Okay. Sapan Prabhu, can you read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Chapter 44, Let There Be a Temple. Chapter 45, Please Distribute Books. 46, Preaching to America Part 1. 47, Preaching to America Part 2. 48, At Home in India. 49, India Unifying ISKCON. 50, The Lame and the Blind Man. 51, Chant Hare Krishna and Fight. 52, I Have Done My Part. 53, Krishna's Great Soldier. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. Who else left? Akinchan Priya Prabhu, Hari Bol. Okay, let me read.
Sure. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Can you read?
Yes, Prabhu.
You can read complete actually, yeah. All this. We are going to the
chapter 54
chapter.
at home.
Yeah.
Chapter 54 at home in Vrindavan. Chapter 55 the final lesson. Chapter 56 return to America. Chapter 57 opening a temple in Los Angeles. Chapter 58 a visit to Boston. Chapter 59 a summer to Montreal. A summer in Montreal. Chapter 60 Seattle. Chapter 61 108 rose bushes. Chapter 62 preaching in Germany. Chapter 63 Latin America.
Thank you. I'll continue here. Thank you very much. Chapter 64 Zurich and New York. Chapter 65 a world tour. And we have seen in online all these other total actually 6 volumes. That box, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita box looks. Forward to the first printing of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, volume 5, chapters 37 to 44. Forward to the first printing of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, volume 6, chapters 45 to 55. And preface, okay, chapter 45 to 55. Okay, preface to the first printing of Prabhupada Lilamrita, introduction to the first printing of Prabhupada Lilamrita, Lila Gaura Arati, and open letter to Pope Paul VI. That time. Okay. So now let us start with the first volume, preface. Right. So now let's start with again Mataji's. Deepa Mataji, please start.
Yes, Prabhuji. Preface. After the disappearance of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada from this mortal world on November 14, 1977, many of his disciples saw a need for an authorized biography of Srila Prabhupada. The responsibility of commissioning such a work rested with the governing body commission of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. At their annual meeting in 1978, the GBC resolved that a biography of Srila Prabhupada should be written and that I would be the author. According to the Vaishnava tradition, if one aspires to write transcendental literature, he must first take permission from his spiritual masters and Krishna. A good example of this is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, the author of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's authorized biography, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. As Krishnadasa Kaviraja has explained, in Vrindavana there were also many other great devotees, all of whom desired to hear the last pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. By their mercy, all these devotees ordered me to write of the last pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because of their order only. Although I am shameless, I have attempted to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Having received the order of the Vaishnavas, but being anxious within my heart, I went back to the temple of Madan Mohana in Vrindavana to ask his permission also.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So let us continue. Samyukta Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. This transcendental process is further described by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada in his commentary on the Chaitanya Charitamrita as follows. To write about the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not an ordinary endeavor. Unless one is empowered by the higher authorities or advanced devotees, one cannot write transcendental literature, for all such literature must be above suspicion, or in other words, it must have none of the defects of conditioned souls, namely mistakes, illusions, cheating, and imperfect sense perception. The words of Krishna and the disciplic succession that carries the orders of Krishna are actually authoritative. One must first become a pure devotee, following the strict regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds daily. And when one thinks he is actually on the Vaishnava platform, he must then take permission from the spiritual master, and that permission must also be confirmed by Krishna from within his heart. So to say the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is an authorized biography does not mean that it is a flattering portrait commissioned by an official body, but that is an authorized literature presented by one who is serving the order of Krishna and Guru through the disciplic succession. As such, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is not written from the mundane or speculative viewpoint, nor can ordinary biographers comprehend the significance and meaning of the life of a pure devotee of God. Were such persons to objectively study the life of Srila Prabhupada, the esoteric meanings would evade them. Were they to charitably try to praise Srila Prabhupada, they would not know how. But because Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is authorized through the transcendental process, it can be transparently present the careful reader with a true picture of Srila Prabhupada.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. See, this is one important point. As such, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is not written from the mundane or speculative viewpoint, nor can ordinary biographs comprehend the significance and meaning of the life of pure devotee of people. Were such persons are to objectively study the life of Srila Prabhupada. So Satsaruddas Goswami Maharaj are till very senior, very first disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He knows from in and out how he started the movement, everything. That's why GBC has chosen Satsaruddas Goswami Maharaj because he's a senior, the first devotee among those first disciples. Until he left the body, Srila Prabhupada left the body on this planet, November 14, 1977, he was with Srila Prabhupada. He knows in and out of Srila Prabhupada, how his life started and everything. That's why it's presenting a life of a pure devotee. The esoteric meanings would evade them were they to charitably to try to praise Srila Prabhupada. They would not know how, because Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is authorized to the transcendental process, it can transparently present the careful reader with a true picture of Srila Prabhupada. Let us continue. Sandhya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Another important aspect of the authority of Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita is the vast amount of carefully researched information that I am able to focus it into each volume. The leading devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement, in addition to giving me permission to render this work, have also invited the world community of ISKCON devotees to help me in gathering detailed information about the life and person of Srila Prabhupada. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, Prabhupada's publishing house, has given me this collection of letters, totaling over 7,000, and scores of Prabhupada's disciples have granted interviews and submitted diaries and memoirs of their association with Srila Prabhupada. Aside from his disciples, we have interviewed many persons in various walks of life who met Srila Prabhupada over the years. The result is that we have a rich composite view of Srila Prabhupada. drawn from many persons who knew him in many different situations and stages of his life. The acknowledgement section in this book lists the persons who cooperated to bring about Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita.
Complete one.
Despite the authorized nature of this book and despite the support of many well-wishers, I must confess that in attempting to describe the glories of our spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, I am like a small bird trying to empty the ocean by carrying drops of water to the land. The picture I have given of Srila Prabhupada is only a glimpse into his unlimited mercy, and that glimpse has only been possible by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Sat Swarupa Dasa Yaswant.
Here, very good one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But I'm like a small bird trying to empty the ocean by carrying drops of water to the land. The picture I have given of Srila Prabhupada is only a glimpse into his unlimited mercy, and the glimpse has only been possible by the grace of Guru and Krishna. That's the thing. So, see how every disciple is nicely taken care. Srila Prabhupada nicely taken care by his instructions. How many letters he has written? His disciples?
7,000.
7,000 letters. And every devotee felt very happy, how I got the response from Srila Prabhupada. So that is where, Acharya is always tries to help his disciple, tries to understand scripture nicely. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yeah. Now acknowledgements, let us read. I mean, these are the devotees who help to publish this book. Let us read. Lavanya, can you go do this? Hare Krishna.
అదే బుక్ లో చూస్తున్నాను.
Sure. I think Samyukta Mata is also following book.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, whoever having Prabhupada Lilamrita, please touch that book. Which is the touching from hands is different rather than reading online. Both are very good. That is more good actually. Touching book and reading. Yes.
Acknowledgement. I would like to acknowledge to the many persons who cooperated to make this biography of Srila Prabhupada possible. Notable among them are Acharya Devidasi, Agrahya Dasa, Arundhati Devidasi, Ashtasaki Devidasi, Baladeva Vidyabhushana Dasa, Balai Devidasa Dasi, Bharadraja Dasa, Bhaktichara Swami, Bhakti Marga Devidasi, Bimala Devidasi, Brahma Muhurta Dasa, Brahma Sampradaya Devidasi, Brihad Pridanga Dasa, Dasya Rasa Devidasi, Drishtaketu Dasa, Diti Devidasi, Dirga Devidasi, Divyambara Devidasi, Dukha Hantri. Okay. Dukhantri Devidasi. Yeah, Dukhantri Devidasi, Eknatha Dasa, Gaura Purnima Dasa, Gopi Paranadana Dasa, Govinda Madhava Dasa, Govinda Dasa, Jadurani Devidasi, Jagadishwara Devidasi, Jagat Karana Devidasi, Jayadvaita Swami, Jayapataka Swami, Jita Shakti Devidasi, Kirtana Rasa Dasa, Kshama Devidasi, Krishna Gopala Dasa, Krishna Sneha Dasa, Kundali Dasa, Kushakrata Dasa, Mamata Devi Dasi, Mandaleshwara Dasa, Mukti Hetu Devi Dasi, Mukunda Goswami, Nagaraja Dasa, Narada Rishi Dasa, Narayana Devi Dasi, Nityatripta Devi Dasi, Paramarupa Dasa, Parikshit Dasa, Patita Pavana Dasa, Pranada Devi Dasi, Purna Chandra Devi Dasi, Radha Vallabha Dasa, Rajendranatha Dasa, Ramadasa Abhirama Dasa, Rameshwara Dasa, Shikaraja Dasa, Rukmini Devi Dasi, Sudama, ఓకే అట్లే పెట్టండి. సాధన సిద్ధిదాస సంతోషదాస సర్వభావన దాస శేషదాస సింహేశ్వర దాస సీతాదేవి దాసి శ్రీకాంత దాస సుభద్రాదేవి దాసి సురేశ్వర దాస తేజస్ దాస త్రిధామ దాస వైశంపాయన దాస విద్యానంద దాస వైశాఖదేవి దాసి యదువర దాస ఓకే విశాఖదేవి దాసి యదువర దాస యమరాజ దాస యోగేశ్వర దేవి దాసి హరిభూ.
Those who contributed.
Most of we know this Yadvara and
Yeah, when we were in Alachua, we met both of
Vishaka
those.
Mataji
Vishaka
and
Mataji.
Yadurani Mataji.
Yadurani Mataji, yes. Some of the Nagaraja Prabhu. We met
Mm.
some of the devotees in Alachua.
Yes.
Very nice. And very nice. So, it's not there in the book, these names?
It's not there in the book, yeah. It
So,
directly goes to introduction. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. So, introduction.
We have some pictures. We have some pictures in the book, and then directly goes to introduction. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not there.
No problem. So at least we read those names once.
Both Yadvar Prabhu and I used to sit beside, we have done a lot of services actually.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Thank you.
In Chaupati, he used to take all the, actually he used to convert all Prabhupada lectures into videos actually. And whatever videos he has, he used to interconnect with the audios. So he used to make that service.
Nice.
We
That is
met
what
in
service is
Alachua
actually.
Prabhuji, Yadvaram Prabhuji and Vishaka Mataji. And their daughters, I think, right?
Yes,
Two
yes.
daughters.
They were in one daughter,
Yeah.
Haripriya.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. Good.
Yes,
Only I will not be
continue.
available for next 10 minutes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
You want to available?
8:45 will be again back. Hare Krishna.
Sure. Introduction. Radhika Mataji, please continue.
Introduction. From childhood, Srila Prabhupada worshipped Lord Krishna, understanding him to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all existence, and beginning at age 22, after his first meeting with his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada became more and more active in spreading the teachings of Lord Krishna. In Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 1, we see Srila Prabhupada struggling alone to publish Back to Godhead magazine, personally typing, editing, visiting the printer, and then distributing the copies on the streets of New Delhi. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah. Working alone in Jhansi, India, Prabhupada gathered a few part-time followers to create the League of Devotees, an early attempt to enact his vision of introducing people from all nations, races, and levels of society to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada was still alone as he arrived in America in 1965, but he was filled with faith in Krishna and determination to establish Krishna consciousness in the West and thus fulfill the desire of his spiritual master and the prediction of the scriptures and previous saints. Young men and women on New York's Lower East Side joined, attracted not so much to Vedic culture as to Swamiji and his chanting of Hare Krishna. Thus, beginning from a small storefront, Srila Prabhupada introduced the Hare Krishna movement to America. We follow Srila Prabhupada to San Francisco's Haight-Ashbury during the hippie heyday of 1967 as he establishes his Krishna consciousness movement there, just as he had done in New York City. Then in May of 67, he appeared to suffer a heart attack and retired to India to recuperate. It became even clearer that the Krishna consciousness movement, its life and its growth depended entirely upon him. Although a few dozen sincere workers were dedicated to his service, they felt helpless and incompetent to do any missionary work or even to maintain their own spiritual vows to abstain from illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication, and gambling, unless he were personally present to lead them. In December 1967, Srila Prabhupada returned to America and his young spiritual family.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hari.
At which age he first met his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur? Which age? 22. Can you ask him?
1922.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
20.
Age.
Age 22 age.
Age, yeah.
Okay. Let us continue. Prabhus, Raja Prabhu, can you read 2 paragraphs?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
as Srila Prabhupada would comment several years later, his movement didn't really begin until his return to America in December 1967. His time was limited. He knew the heart attack had proven that. Now, in whatever time was left, he had to accomplish his mission. And as his International Society for Krishna Consciousness began to grow, it gradually spread beyond its simple and sometimes humorous beginnings to become a spiritual institution considered not noteworthy even among world religions. In the present volume, we follow Srila Prabhupada through the years of his greatest active participation in ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, as its sole leader. In 1960 years, Srila Prabhupada has approximately 50 disabled and 6 ISKCON centers. Although his followers have increased their number, most of them are no more than sincere neophytes. Prabhupada is personally available to each of his disciples and he continues to manage and maintain each ISKCON center. In July of 1970, Srila Prabhupada forms his governing body commission and begins to turn over ISKCON's management to his board of GBC secretaries. Yet, we find Srila Prabhupada will actively guiding the activities of his society, expanded by 1971 to 600 disciples and 65 centers. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. So nicely organization, how he started. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. Sapan Prabhu, can you please read?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Although the teachings of Krishna consciousness have existed since time immemorial within India's Sanskrit Vedic literature and are the origin and essence of all religious expression, until Srila Prabhupada began his preaching, Krishna consciousness in its original purity had never been widely spread. In the most popular and basic Vedic text, Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that real religion, real knowledge, and real endeavor can be understood only when one dedicates his life to the loving service of the Lord. Only full surrender to the Supreme can bring one freedom from the laws of karma and the cycle of repeated birth and death. Srila Prabhupada was convinced that devotional service to Lord is a life's goal and that to engage others in devotional service is the highest welfare activity. And these convictions drove him in his traveling and preaching on behalf of his spiritual master and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah. Akincham Prabhu. You will complete this introduction. Okay. Yeah. Akincham Prabhu. Chandramal Prabhu, you join. Haribol. Thank you. You want to read? Haribol? Chandramal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada's success in spreading Krishna consciousness was due to his being directly empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Kali Kailayara Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtana. Krishna Saki Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. The fundamental religious system in this age of Kali is the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Unless empowered by Krishna, one cannot propagate the Sankirtana movement. Yet, although Srila Prabhupada was empowered, his life story is not one in which success comes neatly and automatically, everything being miraculously enacted by the God. Rather, Srila Prabhupada's story is one of the constant attempts of, on behalf of his spiritual master, success come, but only after great endeavor and faith. Prabhupada encountered difficulties in trying to spread love of God in a godless world. He sometimes met opposition from governments, the media, the religions, including those in India, and even within his own society, he met difficulties caused when his neophyte disciples fell in the allurements of the material world. Yet though all difficulties, Srila Prabhupada has preserved with the sublime tolerance, kindness, and unflinching determination of a pure devotee of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Complete this one.
Yeah, okay, Prabhupada. By material standards, it is extraordinary that a person of Srila Prabhupada's age could constantly travel, confront problems and opposition, and simultaneously produce volume after volume of transcendental Vedic literatures. But material vision cannot comprehend Srila Prabhupada's activities. He was truly a Mahatma. As described by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, the Mahatmas are always working under the direction of my internal energy. In spreading Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada was far from merely a religious zealot trying to increase a sect. His writing, traveling, and preaching were done in the pure devotion of Lord Krishna and were therefore transcendental. It was Krishna himself, Srila Prabhupada saw, who was bringing the results.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Akinchan Prabhu? Okay, so let me read it. Lord Chaitanya has stated, Prithvi Achayata Nagara Digrama Sarvatra Prachara Hai Mora Nama. So nice. In every town and village, the chanting of my name will be heard. These words, directly spoken by Lord Chaitanya, are certainly true. The Lord's prediction must come to pass. Many Gaudiya Vaishnavas, however, even as recently as the disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, consider the Lord's prediction problematic. The name of Lord Chaitanya in every town and village, should this be taken allegorically? Certainly the Americans, the Europeans, the Africans, the Polynesians, the Mongolians, the uncultured mlechas outside of India could never become Vaishnavas. Thus, Lord Chaitanya's words had seemed an enigmatic topic for speculation. Srila Prabhupada, however, was under orders from his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, to preach Krishna consciousness beyond India. And alone, in 1965, he took the great step and left India, crossed the Atlantic, and began the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in New York City, that is year 1965. Yes. Although some of the Prabhupada's godbrothers had gone to England some 30 years before, they had failed to establish anything and had even concluded that to give Krishna consciousness to the Western people was not possible. But Srila Prabhupada, fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's prediction, traveled and employed his disciples in traveling to open centers in New York City, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Boston, Montreal, Buffalo, Seattle. He also sent his disciples abroad to London and other countries, and they succeeded where Prabhupada's godbrothers had failed. The 3 paragraphs, okay. Lightman Prabhu, you are still there? Krishna Prabhuji?
Just a minute.
You want to read, Prabhu?
No problem, go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Last three paragraphs. Deepa Mata, you can conclude this.
Yes, Prabhuji. From where?
Yeah.
As the present volume. As the present volume explains, Srila Prabhupada traveled not only to enlist new devotees and establish Krishna consciousness in new places around the world, but also to maintain what he had already begun. Had he not continued to travel to each temple, instructing his disciples, observing their progress, correcting their mistakes, raising the standard of their Krishna consciousness, the devotees would not have been able to continue. Repeatedly, Prabhupada had to go around the world. Srila Prabhupada, by his faith in Krishna, by his selfless dedication to the order of his spiritual master, and by the blessings of Lord Chaitanya, did what no one else could have done. As Chaitanya Charitamrita states, Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tara Pravartana. Only one empowered by Lord Krishna can actually spread the chanting of Hare Krishna around the world. This volume is an account of years of struggle and ultimate fulfillment in Srila Prabhupada's life, and I invite the reader to relish them. Here is the rags to riches story of one who started alone with nothing, but whose movement, writing, and personal life created an astounding and permanent impression on the world. By following Srila Prabhupada through these times, we gain an understanding of his exalted and humble life. I am unable to describe Srila Prabhupada fully. I have therefore composed an invocation, praying that I be permitted to tell this story purely from the transcendental viewpoint, otherwise it would be ruined and incomprehensible. When properly told, the life of the pure devotee brings the greatest joy and benefit to the hearers. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So nice. Introduction. Yes, we are done with introduction. Tomorrow continue with we'll actually introduction, no? Yeah. Invocation also we read, and chapter 1 we continue until we reach at chapter 1. Then we can choose again Bhagavatam like that. Right. So thank you so much for the opportunity to have association with all of you and reading Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita. So let us go through it, Sloka recitations. Kunti Maharani. So, yeah. Loaded, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. So what is the idea, Prabhu? Today we will practice this one. Yesterday was.
Yes, Prabhuji. Shall we go ahead with 35 today?
Yeah. Yes, all the devotees.
Hare
At least
Krishna.
we'll practice once and then we go to 35. Arigol, Prabhuji's matters. Idea, share ideas.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. One quickly.
Yes.
All the devotees.
Yes.
Then of us. Yeah. Let us do quickly the yesterday's verse, 34th verse. Yeah, Mataji. Continue. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Lalitman Prabhu first ఒకసారి చేయరా?
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. ఒకసారి చేయండి, Prabhuji.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो दधौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मभुवार्थितः.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो दधौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्थितः. हरे कृष्ण.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नावा इवो ददौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्थितः.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो ददौ सिद्धन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्थिता.
सीदन्त्या Mataji. It is सीदन्त्या.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Siddhantya bhuri bharena jato yatma bhuvartita.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो ददौ सीदन्त्या भूरिभारेण जातोऽध्यात्मा भुवार्तिता.
Yes, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, is it audible now? Because everyone is okay with the quality.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it is audible.
Yeah. Okay, then just leave and join again, Mataji, if it is so. Rest others can continue.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Shall I do it?
Yes, Ramreddy, please go ahead.
Bharavataranayaanye bhuvo nava ivo dadhau सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्तितः. Hare Krishna.
सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण क्या
सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्तितः. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna. Sapan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नावा इवो ददौ सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो हि आत्मा भुवार्थिता.
Yes, Prabhu. Chandramauli Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इव ददौ सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्थितः.
Okay, at Siddhantya, na, this word needs little more practice by many devotees. Siddhantya.
Okay, Prabhu. Sidantya
Bhuri
Bharena.
Sidantya Bhuri Bharena. It's not like that. Sidantya Bhuri. Okay.
Okay.
Akinchan Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Bharavataranayanye bhuvo nava ivodahu सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो आत्मा भुवार्थितः.
Yeah, Sidantya Bhuri Bharena.
सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो आत्मा भुवार्थितः.
जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्थितः.
सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो आत्मा भुवार्थितः.
Yes, Prabhu. Giraj Prabhu. Raj Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Raj Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'll do.
Yeah. Go ahead, Prabhu.
Just back. Okay. भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नावा इवो दधौ सीदन्त्या भूरि भारेण जातो ह्यात्मा भुवार्तितः.
Thank you, Prabhu. Raju Prabhu, Unara? Are you there? Oh, Haribol. Raju is not there. Okay. Who else is left?
I'll do.
Everyone done. Who is it? Sandhya Mataji, go ahead.
भारावतारनायान्ये भुवो नाव इवो ददौ सीदन्त्य भूरि भारेण जातो हि आत्मभुवार्थितः.
Okay. So, shall we go for the other one? 1835? Yeah.
Sure.
See, just I wanted to give you a very intro to this shloka because this is very, very important shloka. Okay. This is what actually many Paramahamsas say that this is the reason why Krishna actually comes. Okay. Bhave means you will again avirbhava. You will come to this material world. Why? For the people who are klishyamananam, those who are suffering from avidya, kama, karma bhi. उनको क्या देना आया था? श्रवण स्मरण करिष्यन इति केचना. Okay. So you are appearing in this material world to help these suffering souls show the way how to go away from this material world by hearing, remembering, and worshipping you. So this is what is the main crux of the all. There are say this is why you have come and all, right? There is a series of verses, some 3 or 4 verses, which says this is why. Some say this is why you have come. Some say this is why you have come. But ultimately, she will come to this proposition at last. What is that? And yet others say that you appeared for the sake of rejuvenating the devotional service of hearing, remembering, worshipping, and so on, in order that the conditioned soul suffering from material pangs might take advantage and gain liberation. Okay. So what is the main ultimate goal why you have come? This is the main purpose, to take them back home, back to Godhead. Okay. So this is what this means. There is no bit tough words here. We have only one word, Klishya Mananam. So shall I repeat that? Hare Krishna? Or shall we directly go into that?
Klishya Mananam.
Okay. I will repeat it 6 times, okay? Klishya Mananam.
क्लिश्यमानानां
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 Okay, one more word. The third line, second word. Okay. This smara narahani.
स्मरनारहाणि
Okay, you should split this word. Okay. Smara narahani.
स्मरनारहाणि
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 Okay. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi. Is it?
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
Stress this word hihi. Okay. Karma bihi. It's like that. Okay. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम्
अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
Shravanasmaranarhani karisyan iti kechana.
श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन
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 Shall we know what is it? Start this again,
Yes, Prabhuji.
or shall we go ahead for the whole shloka?
Whole shloka is okay.
Bhavesmin glishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi shravanasmaranarhani karisyan iti kechana.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणास्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन।
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन।
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन।
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन।
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन.
Now individually can go for practice. Okay, one by one.
Prabhuji, we didn't do synonyms.
Yeah, we will do after this practice, na Mataji, because time is already 9:04. I don't know how many of you will be free from now on. Okay.
Okay.
We will do it tomorrow, Mataji. We will do it tomorrow, and we will again practice this tomorrow. But by now, at least you will come to know where you are lacking. Okay, please do.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन। हरे कृष्ण।
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Lavanya Mataji.
क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन।
Yes, go ahead, Mataji. Giriraj Prabhu, I will not be available. You please take a call. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji,
here,
I am not
yes,
available
yes.
today.
We'll
Please go
take
ahead.
care, Prabhu. Yes, we will take care. Practice, devotees.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः
स्मरणार्हाणि
श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन। भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन।
हरे कृष्ण। भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन।
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन।
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Chandraval Prabhu.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhu.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन्ति केचन।
Super. Akinjan Priya Prabhu, Sapan Prabhu, Mirdaya. Yeah.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि करिष्यन् इति केचन। हरे कृष्ण।
Super. Akinjan Prabhu.
भवेस्मिन् क्लिश्यमानानाम् अविद्याकामकर्मभिः श्रवणस्मरणार्हाणि Karisyan iti kechana.
Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhuji. Nice. So let me do Srimad Bhagavatam first canto 8th chapter 35th verse. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bhi shravana smaranarhani karishyan iti kechana. Yeah, let us stop. Yeah. Thank you so much. I think everybody done, na? I think everybody done, right? Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much again. Yeah, Samikta Mataji. Yeah, thank you very much again. Samikta Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, Akinchan Priya Prabhu, Deepa Mataji, Radhika Mataji, Lavanya, Sapan Prabhu, Chandraval Prabhu, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, Dandatna, Pancha Kalpataru, Beshakrupa, Sindhavati Vacha, Patidanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah, Anantakoti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Translator Book Reading Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita Ki Jai, Nitai Gaurari Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Dandatna. See you all tomorrow. Happy Tuesday.